Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty Sushma KP. So in this topic, we will be discussing that Supreme Court has increased the powers of NIA. We will be discussing why is it in news. We will be discussing about the relevance of it in your UPSC. It is your paper 2. And also we will be discussing more in depth about your NIA. Supreme Court expands the reach of NIA's powers. Meaning what? Supreme Court has given NIA the power to investigate offences connected to the main schedule offence that is already under investigation, even if the connected offence was committed by a separate person who is not an accused in scheduled offence. What this is in detail, we'll explain. First, understand these things like a story. I'll tell you. Your NIA, that is National Investigative Agency, was created on the backdrop of your 26/11 Mumbai 2008 attacks, and it was put under your Home Ministry. And also one more thing, yes, it was held that your National Investigative Agency, what did I tell? It is under Ministry of Home Affairs. Yes, it will investigate cases which comes under a scheduled offences list which is provided to your NIA. Meaning what? What are those things? Look at this. The Explosive Substances Act, Atomic Energy Act, UAPA, Anti-Hijacking Act, Information Technology Act, Suppression of Unlawful Activities Against Aviation, SARC Convention on Terrorism Act. So this is your scheduled offences. Based on what we read previously in the news article, the court has increased the powers of NIA to even investigate in cases which are not coming under these things. I'll explain it to you. Look at this. Supreme Court, your justices B.V. Nagarathna and Justice N.K. Singh have held that your NIA, National Investigative Agency, can also look into Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985. Just previous slide pe I told you, NIA can investigate on all these topics. Anywhere do we see NDPS Act? Do we see? But here, Supreme Court has held that no, your NIA can investigate. What led them to tell that? What the case is? Little bit later will discuss. Topics has been created from your offences and penalties under NDPS Act in 1985. As the name itself states, it is to deal with narcotics. Now, anything to do with narcotic, control of drug abuse, usage, everything is under the responsibility of your central government. Fine? If you look, this is the Act, NDPS Act of 1985, which states imprisonment, fine. So for each offense, look at this: cultivation of opium, poppy straw, cannabis, and also embezzlement of opium, production, manufacture, possession, sale, purchase, any of these. So it deals with all the things that has to do with your narcotics. We will come to know why we are discussing about narcotics in just a brief. So your NDPS Act led to the creation of Narcotics Control Bureau. Again, this also comes under your Ministry of Home Affairs. What is the main aim of it? To deal with your drugs, illicit substances, etc. And also according to the Article 47 of your Indian Constitution, state is to endeavor to bring about prohibition of the consumption except for medicinal purposes of intoxicating drugs injurious to health. So this comes under your ambit of central government. We have seen about this. Just in a moment, I will tie this all up for you. Your Narcotic Control Bureau was associated with International Narcotics Control in Operation Trance. If you see in India, there is an increasing abuse of your narcotics or illicit substances. This is largely seen with respect to, for example, the Goa parties or what we call as trance parties, where huge amount of drugs are used. This was the first time that your NCB engaged in darknet, meaning, see, darknet doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, lot of illegal activities, illegal purchases, drug trafficking and all moves here, but also your users who don't want to share their detail, who want to remain anonymous also use this. So on this darknet is where they try to trap and catch these psychotropic substances which were being sold. So your NCB along with your International Narcotics Control managed to catch around 135 kg of drugs. We spoke about NIA coming into picture, but all we are speaking about is your Narcotic Control Bureau. Just give me a minute, we will wrap it all up. Like I mentioned, NIA, Ministry of Home Affairs, post your 26/11 attack, it came into picture. Yeah, it came under your National Investigative Agency Act of 2008. Now is where things get interesting. That is, we will be able to tie this all up together. A special task force, Punjab, Haryana, they arrested a person called Sukhbir Singh, who was held for drug trafficking and illegal arms possession. When he was caught, the car in which he was had huge amount of drugs in it. This Sukhbir Singh claimed that that car that he was caught belonged to another person called as Ankush Vipin Kapoor. This fellow was held and he was charged under your Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. That is your NDPS Act. Now this guy was arrested. This guy got a bail in your Punjab, Haryana High Court. Later again this guy was held for another case where an ongoing case was happening in Gujarat, where this guy was involved with illegal arms trade, possession, etc., which was used to finance your terror. So what happened? Ministry of Home Affairs moved this case to NIA because he was also investigated. First case pe what happened? Punjab pe he was arrested for drug trafficking and illegal arms possession only, wherein he was caught with a car which had all the drugs in it, and this guy claimed this fellow's car it was. Now then, when this fellow was arrested and all, and this fellow was also arrested, a bail was issued for this guy. That is what we have discussed up until now. But then what happened? It was later come to know that Gujarat pe also another case was being ongoing held on this guy, Sukhbir Singh, stating what? That this guy was involved in terror financing. So Ministry of Home Affairs, what is the word? Terror financing. So they transferred this case to NIA. Your NIA now, when it took the case, first and foremost, it went and it asked your Punjab Haryana High Court to cancel the bail order on him. This guy argued in the court telling that I am being held for having possession of drugs in my car, which will put me under NDPS Act. NIA cannot investigate cases in NDPS Act. It is investigating this guy because Terror Act, fine, that is fine. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, you can put this guy. But I am only investigated in NDPS Act. So NIA doesn't have the authority for NDPS Act. At this point of time is where your Supreme Court held that if we have to read in plain textual manner, we can tell, yes, in this case only they can investigate this case, even though he is connected with them, even though there was drugs associated, and in association just because he is associated with him and he is the one involved in terror financing, when the possibility is he is also involved, no? On that broad interpretation, Supreme Court held that no, that is NIA can investigate cases which are NDPS related, that is NIA can investigate cases which is not coming into the scheduled list, but if in any connection is coming to the scheduled list, then they can. Because of the broad understanding, Supreme Court has now held that NIA can investigate on this guy also. Hopefully, I've tried to tie it all up together for you. We've reached the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.